This is Eagle Owl, and today we're going to talk about Nic Scourton and his picture with BG. Yeah, we got to talk about that. Also, AJ Brown is attacking this offseason. And lastly, Sidney Brown wrestling. But let's get straight into it. That visit on the top 30 visit, and that's Tyliek Williams. Tyliek Williams, about 6'3", 6'6", something in that range. Between 6'3" and 6'6", 334. I'm for sure he's that size. What, defensive tackle, a guy that can, rush the passer, or he's more of a pocket closer. He doesn't get a lot of sacks, but he's really good at stopping the run. And I'm gonna go ahead and let Baldy just break down some of the things he do very well.
Let's watch Tyliek Williams in a three technique. This is the second play of Michigan, Ohio State. Now, you can get combo blocked by the guard tackle. You can get choke blocked here by the center. All right. You can get zone blocked, all right, by the guard. All right. So there's a lot of different things that can happen to you in that position. But this is how you play this play. He's going to get angle blocked by the tackle here. Watch him defeat the block. That's what you got to be able to do. Defeat the block, shed the block, and then go make the tackle. It took two plays in this Michigan-Ohio State game for Tyliek Williams to show up. Like, you win with technique, all right? Excellent eyes, excellent pad level, excellent shed of a block, and then you make the tackle.
Very violent hands, but I'm not in love with this visit. And I'm going to tell you why. Because he give me more of a Jordan Davis vibe. And I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm saying that more of, we got a Jordan Davis on our team. He needs time to develop pass rushing skills, but his run stopping is there already. And the reason why I mentioned Jordan Davis, because Jordan Davis is still on the team. Now, if you want to draft a defensive tackle, you want a Milton Williams replacement because he's officially off the team. You don't want a Jordan Davis replacement because no matter what happens with the fifth-year option, Jordan Davis is going to be here another year. And then, whatever you decide to do with Jordan Davis, that's when you go into the draft like, okay, we need that run stopper. But why draft a run stopper now? You want more of a D tackle. If you're going to go D tackle, who's more of a pass rusher, who probably needs to develop more as a run stopper. I would prefer that in my personal opinion. So it's really no knock on him, but I don't want us getting a run stopper with our first round pick, where it was though we got that in the building already in Jordan Davis. So again, I'm not dissing Jordan Davis. I'm just saying Jordan Davis is still here and a guy who can develop as a pass rusher. Right. Another thing I want to talk about, the Eagles signed a former second round wide receiver, and that's Terrance Marshall Jr. Now, this is a guy I think almost every Eagles fan wanted back in 2021. This is what when Devontae Smith got drafted. A lot of us didn't think Devontae Smith would fall to us. We just knew he was going to go to the Giants, but you know what happened draft day. And we thought we was going to get like a cornerback, and then maybe the second round we get like a Terrance Marshall Jr. But what's going on in Terrance Marshall Jr. career, it just haven't been good, I will say. Panthers, he had a decent year two, his sophomore year, but since then it's been a fall off. He's been on like 4 different teams. And even Howie Roseman said, like, look, I'm here to give guys opportunities at this point because we got guys or players that can play to a high level. So there's no need for them to sign a $20 million deal guy, whereas though you got a bunch of those or $15 million deal guys when you got a bunch of those on the team already and who is playing at a high level. But let me play this clip by Howie Roseman.
Yeah, different offseason in terms of we're not going out and signing a guy for $15 million a year or some huge amount of money because of the players that we have on the team already. We have 8 guys who make $15 million or more and have earned that payday. We have 8 starters from our 2022-2024 draft who played in the Super Bowl. We think that we have a bunch more from those drafts. And so we had to make choices that were going to affect us going forward. And we went into free agency trying to find guys that were looking for an opportunity to kind of come here, play well, and then see what free agency holds from them a year from now. And so those are one-year deals. Those are guys that we thought fit what we were looking for those particular positions. Those were guys that we did a lot of work on coming out in the draft that we feel like fit the vision of our football team and the positions that they're playing.
I'm just most excited.
So again, just another guy getting the opportunity. Now, am I saying he's replacing Jahad Dotson? No, but I will say Johnny Wilson. You got to play it up to a higher level. I get it. You're a good pass blocker, but man, we need help in the receiving room for us with the wide receiver 4. Anaya Smith, again, he wasn't ready. So it's really right now A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Jahad Dotson, who are somewhat lost. But that wide receiver 4, you bring in more competition. Because Terrance Marshall Jr. right now, if you ask me, is he better than Anaya Smith or Johnny Wilson? I would say yes. He could beat those dudes out, and those dudes can, be on the practice squad or something. As of right now, as of today. Now, things might change. They might have been putting in the work during the offseason, and, maybe they could beat out Terrance Marshall Jr. So best of luck to him. Or hell, Terrance Marshall Jr. get beat out, but he could be a guy developing on our practice squad. All right, so let's get into the meat and potatoes. Let's get into the main topic. So Nic Scourton. So this is the first time I went back to a former draft perspective or a guy that, was scheduled to have a top 30 visit. And the reason why is because it looked like they brought Brandon Graham to the top 30 visit. Brandon Graham is even following Nic Scourton on Instagram. So let me know the Eagles are really interested. And I believe if he falls to that 32 or whatever, I think the Eagles pull the trigger. He's 20 years old. You see the picture. He's way bigger than Brandon Graham. He made Brandon Graham look small. So I'll let you know his size. He got that deadly spin move. And Purdue, when people was doing a quote unquote too early mock drafts, they had him and like Abdul Carter at the same level. Him and Abdul Carter. But what happened was when he went to Texas A&M, the scheme was bad, the D-line was bad, and it was a fall off. So what we're trying to figure out, or at least me, was it the fall off because of the scheme? Or was it the fall off because he's just not that good? But we're talking about a 20-year-old. We're not talking about a 32, 35-year-old, 20-year-old. So I'm personally leaning towards more of the scheme. And if you bring him in with Vic Fangio's scheme, I think he'll do a great job. I think he'll be a steal. I really, really do. And hell, he technically don't have to be ready year one. Because say if it's Azeez Ojulari and Nolan Smith. Say if it's those two starting, and then you got Nic Scourton rotating, and then like Joshua O'Shea rotating. You won't be mad at that the first year, but then you expect Nic Scourton to pick it up the second year. Hell, like Nolan Smith. Nolan Smith the first year wasn't that great. Second year, it was like, okay, he's not starting, but you see him come along towards the end of the season, like, oh yeah, Nolan Smith is ready now. So you could see something like that for Nic Scourton, or hell, he might come out the gates hot. Because I told you at one point, he was projected to be the first defensive end off the draft board. But that scheme, or was it him? We'll find out. All right, so let's get into the next topic. A.J. Brown spoke with Elliott Shore-Parks and how he's attacking the offseason. And let me play this clip.
I think that's fun. I think that was a great thing we accomplished. And I think, my motivation just solely wasn't based on if we won or lost. I think I'm a motivated person alone. So I'm just doing what I do, regardless of win, lose, or draw. But I'm most definitely happy that we won. That makes it a lot better. So.
Are you guys satisfied now? He said he was happy with the Super Bowl, but he's saying he's attacking the offseason like how he normally do, win, lose, or draw. He's going to go hard. He's going to do the swim lessons, probably the boxing lessons. He said he's going to start doing ballet to toe tap a little better. So that's really good. And as I always mention about A.J. Brown is that is a good sign when he said, I want the ball. I want to be involved with the team. Because he got paid. He could just be like, look, I got my millions. I'm good. I'm sitting back. I'm chilling. Nah. he chases his purpose, and I gotta give him a lot of credit for that. He still chases his purpose of being the best receiver in this league. Even when he was on Gilly the Kid podcast and when he was ranking the receivers, he was being honest. Like, you know what? I think he said Chase and Justin Jefferson is ahead of him. And he's like, look, I'm putting in the work to be that number one guy. He said those dudes got the numbers. Cool. But I'm going to keep working my ass off till people talk about me like I'm number one. And he's humble enough to say that. So I got to salute him because, again, could fall back. He could chill. He know he's considered top 5. I'm like, I'm chilling. Nah, that's not A.J. Brown mindset. And I love it. I personally love it. But last but certainly not least, a guy that's not chilling is Sidney Brown. So Sidney Brown must have been hearing the criticism about his tackling because I've been seeing a lot of pictures and videos of him doing like wrestling. So what wrestling does, it helps you bring down a opponent, right? The proper way. So the thing or the knock on Sidney Brown coming out of college and even today, he's reckless. He goes for the big hit, not really a technician as far as with tackling, and it looked like he's doing the work to get better at that. Sidney Brown, I like him. I love him. I said he'd be the best safety coming out the draft. Now, you can't judge me on that yet. Coming out that draft is because the second year he was hurt and he couldn't really, grasp with Fangio's scheme. But that first year, his rookie year, he showed signs he can be that guy. Going into year 3, we got rid of C.J. Gardner-Johnson. This is your opportunity to show you're that guy. And I really do. I really do believe he's that guy. So, Sidney Brown, keep doing what you're doing. Keep putting in the work. I believe you show flashes during the season. And just continue to build off that. Do what you have to do during the off season. Now you'll get a training camp. Now you can go to voluntary OTAs and show your ass in a good way. So that's all I got for you guys today. Hey man, what do you think? How do you feel? Sidney Brown putting in the work. AJ Brown putting in the work. Nic Scourton. We'll see. But this is Eagle Owl, man. I'm out.